The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and Your Sports Network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Thursday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com. As always, we are brought to you by our good friends, top right-hand corner of the screen right there, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you, so you don't have to. We try to follow their lead and do the same on this show every single day. And man, we have a good one for you. We are getting ready for big tournament games tonight. District semifinals, Canfield boys playing against Canal Fulton Northwest. And we're going to have Sam Castronova. He's going to be featured on today's episode of Running Point. Great interview with one of their seniors. We've had the pleasure to talk to many of those Canfield basketball players this year, and he is the latest, so we're going to play his interview today. And then also exciting on the girls' side, the last team standing for the second year in a row are the Springfield Tigers. They are in the regional semifinals, third consecutive year they've made it to the regionals, and they're trying to go to back-to-back regional champions. They will start that journey tonight in Maslin Perry against Richmond Heights. I froze for a second, but against Richmond Heights. That is the 5 seed in Springfield against, I believe, the 3 seed Richmond Heights, if I'm not mistaken, in Division 3. And it should be a really fun one. Springfield has been relying on their ability to just know how to win these tournament games the last couple of days. Richmond Heights, they've been there before in boys basketball, but they were not there last year or the year before in girls. So first time for a lot of those players to be on that stage. Springfield's hoping that experience pays dividends for them again. Richmond Heights only scored 24 points against Western Reserve. Now, I know the caveat is held the ball for a while, led to a lot of conversations, one that we had here on Running Point on Monday, but nonetheless, they didn't really have much offense to speak of. How will that affect them into this game? Not being able to have a really flow. You know, they did what they had to do to get a win in that game against Western Reserve, but they don't have a lot of offensive momentum coming into this game. And the way Springfield's playing right now, I mean, Jamaica Brungard just scored 33. You know, can you keep up with that? Who knows? We'll find out tonight. And to get ready for it, we have a player profile to feature from Mariana Toscano, and a great interview with her. Always a great player to catch up to. I believe this is her second player profile of her career, so we'll play that one for you today as well. But first, we will, as always, hop into the scoreboard and check out what was going on last night across the board in the YSN family on the basketball side of things. As we bring up the YSN scoreboard, which is presented by Burnett Pool Spas and Hot Tubs. The YSN scoreboard is a great tool for our fans, whether you're at one of the games or watching one of our broadcasts. You don't want to look away from the action for too long, and the YSN scoreboard is a great, easy way to find live updated scores of your favorite teams across the YSN family. We have a great team behind the scenes that makes sure that this scoreboard is as live updated as possible, so you don't have to wait until late at night for the final scores to come streaming in. Last night we had 5 boys basketball games, and we will start with Ursuline having no trouble with Streetsboro as they win 64-35. And that was among a bit like I don't know, maybe a half a quarter or maybe a full quarter, just divvied up into half of the second half, first half of the third quarter. A little bit sloppy. It got a little bit sloppy for Ursuline for a little bit. They had a big lead against Streetsboro very early. They let Streetsboro come back and cut it to 8-7, in that range, and then they turned it back on. So this is a big win for Ursuline, and they're able to survive a little bit of a spell of sloppiness, which I think Keith Gunther has to be happy about, that their team was able to go through a little bit of adversity. It's not on the scoreboard maybe, but hey, we didn't play our best for a whole game, and we still found a way to have our defense step up, let our offense figure it out, and they definitely did that. So Ursuline showing they can win in a couple of different ways. First two games in the sectionals, obviously offense, high flying. They were head and shoulders above the teams they were playing. Now it's a little bit more of the defense. The offense, had their spells, but also had a couple of bursts where they were just unable to find a rhythm, and their defense really stepped up in those times. So impressed by Ursuline to win in a couple of different ways. They'll go to the district championship game. Poland and CVCA meeting up in Akron North, and CVCA is the winner in this one. They end the Bulldog season in the district semifinals, 64-47, the final score there. Poland girls and boys both finish as NEA champions, and have a lot to be proud of heading into next season on both sides of the basketball. So it is spring sports season now for Poland, as they just have wrestling left on their quest to a state championship this weekend. We go to Jefferson. They went up against Lutheran West, and they fell to the 1 seed, 65-44, the final score there in that one. East Liverpool, probably the game of the night. I know the final score wouldn't indicate that, but East Liverpool had a huge fourth quarter. This game was close for 3 quarters, and then East Liverpool outscored John Glenn 17-5 in the final quarter of play to kind of run away with it. But as you can see, if you subtract that margin by 12, okay, it was back and forth for 3 quarters of play. But the Potters finished strong, and they go right into the district championship game in Division 2. So a big win for the Potters. Also a big win for Louisville. They're able to beat Medina. Final score there, 49-44. It was a test. It was a mighty test. Medina is so well coached. They did not make a lot of turnovers. They were just a very disciplined team. Didn't make a lot of silly fouls. It was going to be a hard test for Louisville to get through, like every D1 tournament is across the state. We've talked until our faces are blue about how balanced D1 is in every sport, and Medina proven that with a really big fight against Louisville. But the Leopards are able to pull it out 49-44. This is a big win because it's the Leopards' first program trip to the district championship as a Division I school. It's their 6th overall. They've been there 6 times, but the 5 other times Louisville was in the district championship, they were a member of Division II. So now Division I, and the first time they've ever been into the district championship as a Division I school. They await their winner of tonight's action, and it's going to be Canton McKinley and Glen Oak. If it's McKinley, Louisville won by 4 points this year against Canton McKinley. 71-67, I believe, was that final score. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But either way, whether it's Canton McKinley or whether it's Glen Oak, that's a monster test for a district championship. But obviously Louisville, in their first one in Division I, looking for their first championship in Division I, keeping this great season alive. Tate Aljancic had a big night for Louisville. He had 15. Hayden Nigro was held to 7. He's one of the best scorers in the Northeast Ohio area. Medina did a really good job defending him, but he has a good supporting cast, and that's what we were talking about with Scotty yesterday on Running Point when he asked, what would you rather have, one superstar or a balanced offense? And one of the reasons why I think anyone that's smart and anyone that coaches basketball the right way would tell you we want a balanced team, because if something like last night happens where Medina or a team plays really good defense against our best player, we need the other people to step up, and we would rather not be looking around like we're lost in a dark cave when our best player gets slowed down a little bit. And Louisville didn't do that. They had players step up, and I believe that Hayden Nigro will have a huge game in the district championship because he can't keep him down for too long. So should be a fun one. Louisville, once again, the first program district championship as a Division I school. That one will be Saturday. I believe tip-off is at 2 o'clock in Alliance against either Canton McKinley or Canton Glen Oak. Either way, someone from Canton coming down to Alliance. So all these teams advance to the district championship and await winners of games that are being played tonight. And we congratulate Ursuline, East Liverpool, and Louisville on advancing. And we also congratulate Jefferson and Poland on fantastic seasons. We have more district semifinals tonight. Let's pull up tonight's schedule and see what we have going on the boys' side. We have actually another set of 6 district semifinals in Divisions 1 and 2. West Branch playing Revere tonight. We have Howland going up against Rocky River. Canfield plays Canal Fulton Northwest. Edgewood going up against NDCL. We have Austintown Fitch in Division 1 going up against Elyria. And then Hoban going to be playing Strongsville tonight in the district semifinals. Hoban trying to, of course, repeat as state champions. And then we talked about it, the girls. One team left. It's Division 4. It's Springfield in the regional semifinals, I should say, against Richmond Heights. That one will be roughly 8 o'clock start time in Massillon Perry for you there. We will go over the broadcast schedule and announcers that will be there at the end of the show to prep you for tonight, but just wanted to get out tonight's schedule and the teams that are playing. Before we transition into our player profile section of the show, we're going to do one, take a commercial break, come back to the other, and hopefully if we timed it right, that will line us up right into telling you about tonight's games, where you can watch them, and who you'll be watching as far as broadcasters who's going to have you covered tonight. So let's go into our player profile section of the show. Sam Castronova from Canfield, a great senior class that Canfield has. This is a great interview with this young man, and I hope you enjoy it. Anthony Herbig here with a Canfield basketball player profile. We're joined by Sam Castronova. Sam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
This is a Canfield team that really has been playing phenomenally well this year, and now you're back-to-back AAC champions, trying to get a district champion this year. Just talk to us first about the whirlwind of this program and what it's been like the last 2 years to see so much success come out of it.
Yeah, last year we had a lot of success. We fell a little short, and then this year we got a new coach coming in, and we just had a lot of success and got on a couple win streaks, and we're just looking to win a district title this year and go from there.
Couple of win streaks indeed. We've talked to a couple of your teammates, and I always brought up that start, the 0-2 start. Obviously, very tough teams that you played to start the season, but it seemed like after that, you guys hit a really big run and really turned into the team that you wanted to be. From your perspective, what was it like bouncing back from a start that you didn't want?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I feel like playing those difficult teams helped us get like a feel for just a kick to start the season, and we just were able to like play some harder competition, which allowed us to beat other teams.
Yeah, it's your senior year. So one of the things that we always ask seniors is what it's been like to deal with all the emotions that senior year can bring. So last time you're doing a lot of things. How have you been handling it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely crossed my mind like tons of times that it'll be my last run, and that if we lose in the tournament, it's done, and I'm probably not going to play in college. So yeah, it's always crossed my mind.
Well, we hope that doesn't happen for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
One of the things that excites us about tournament time is you get that clutchness in the teams, and you get to see that winning mentality. You guys have had it. What do you think forms that in this program? What do you think gives you that clutchness, that ability to go win games in overtime. We've seen you do that this year, win close games, a lot of them in the conference. What gives this team the ability to not be pressured when things get close?
I feel like it's definitely our chemistry. We've been together for the past 2 years, and we've been able to like build experience with each other, and that has allowed us to like come together in these big games and in the clutch moments.
Talking about being together, I mean, this senior class is huge. You were able to play basketball with all these great guys for a long time. What's it like to have all this with the rest of your senior classmates?
Yeah, it's nice. We lost a couple guys to injury this year, but I've been playing with these guys for a while, and it's just nice to be able to like get these moments in with them.
You talked about the coaching staff. Obviously, you're led by someone that might get a statue outside of Canfield at some point in John Cullen. Might get the whole gym named after him. He's a basketball legend.
Yeah.
What is it like being coached by him, and what's it been like to see him come back to Canfield to try to finish his career out strong?
Yeah, it's awesome. We love him. He brings a bunch of knowledge from like all the years he's been coaching, and he's really helps us on the defensive end. Always knows what's coming, and he has a lot of respect from other teams and other coaches, so that helps us.
You know, when you talk about John Cullen, you talk about just the basketball knowledge that he has. He's a fountain of absolute basketball IQ. What's that like for you guys to always be able to have a coach that knows exactly what's going on? He can probably pick apart any team on film and put you guys in the best situation to win.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time, so he knows a lot more than we do. Even when we think we're right, we're wrong, and he always just directs us in the right direction, and he knows what's going on at all times.
Now, all that being said, does he still give you guys like the leeway to see stuff and be like, hey, coach, maybe this team is doing this, maybe we can pull this off or something like that? Is there still an openness between you and the coaching staff so you guys can have ideas too?
Yeah, for sure. They always give us free reign to talk whenever we want, just give opinions on the other team or when we're watching film, to talk about what we see and stuff.
What does that do for your confidence to know that you have a coaching staff that we just talked about, knows so much, has been doing it for so long, but they still are able to give you guys the confidence to say, hey, we see this and we see that on film?
It's great because some situations you might not be able to talk and you might feel like that the coaches have full control over you, and that has an effect on the players and the team overall.
You know, we all see Coach Cullen. We've been seeing him on the sidelines for a long time. What's he like in practice? What's a typical Coach Cullen practice look like at Canfield?
He's always got his full practice plan ready. We stick to time and we just work on the fundamentals, play a lot of 5-on-5, and just get ready for the game. Mostly just going over the other team's plays and just getting ready for the next game.
We've been hearing about the quotes that likes to bring out a lot. What are some of the ones that he's brought out for you guys that stuck with you?
He always says, "Put a sign around your neck." Let me think. You couldn't hit a bull in the butt with a bass fiddle. It's all these quotes that we've never heard before, but we love.
You gotta love it. When you talk about Canfield sports right now, the whole athletics room is having such a era of success. Football team, has been to state a couple of times in the last couple of years. Obviously, the softball team went to state last year. You guys are on a great run. The girls basketball team went to regionals last year. They had a great season this year. When you look at the athletes that you have at Canfield right now, and you're able to look around both sides, boys and girls, and see just a lot of success out of the school, what does that do for you, and how cool is it to be a part of it?
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, we got these teams that are making runs, and it just, when we see them going on these big runs, we want to go on a big run. We want to be like them, and they have a positive impact on us and our team.
You have had the opportunity to have such good student sections at Canfield for your games. What's your favorite sport to be a student section in?
Definitely football. I love to be in the football student section.
Even the cold? You okay with those cold weather football games? Yeah. What's your favorite theme? What's the favorite student section theme?
I think I like beach theme because it's warm.
Not in the cold, though. Save that for the early season games. So let's talk about this tournament time. We said it before, every game could be your last now. You're not guaranteed the next. How have you guys been handling preparation for tournament, and what's it like to finally be in this stage where it's win or go home and everything matters just a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our goal is to win districts, win regionals, go as far as we can, but we really just have to focus on Northwest right now, who we play Thursday, and we can't look ahead games because then we could get upset.
When you have all those goals and you're so hungry for a district championship, and like you said, you're hungry for even more, how hard has it been to lock in on just a one game at a time mentality?
It's kind of tough, but our coaches just don't let us look ahead, and they always make us focus on just the next game. Don't look ahead. Just keep your focus on the next team you play.
You know, we talked about this big senior class, and next year you're all going to be gone. I'm wondering, in your perspective, who are some underclassmen that you've seen this year kind of sharpen those leadership teeth a little bit that make you confident that next year when the big senior class is graduated, this team's going to have really good leaders?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Drew Shapiro, Ben Weaver, and Ray, they played a lot last year for us. And this year, guys like Landon Shina, Bryce Roberts, and Jake DeLisio have played a lot for us. And they're definitely going to take a big step next year, and I'm looking forward to watching them play.
When you think of, the way seniors are kind of graded is how they left it when how they leave the program. Is it better than when they left it? What kind of legacy do you hope that you leave on this program? If we ask, next year's players what it was like to have Sam Castronova as a teammate, what do you hope their answer would be?
Yeah, I mean, I just hope they talk good about me, say I was a good teammate, say I made people laugh, just had a good time at practice, and then also just was locked in every game day and every practice and focused on one goal to win games.
Don't worry, buddy. I don't think it's even possible to say anything bad about Sam Castronova at this point. When you think of, being a role model now with the success that has come with this Canfield program, you see a lot of young kids that are looking up to varsity members saying they want to be like you when they grow up and they get into high school. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, it's been cool just seeing the kids every game up in like their side of the student section cheering us on, giving us high fives as we go to the locker room. It's cool seeing them because I remember I was a kid like that once, just looking up to the high schoolers, and it's just cool to see.
When you were a kid, who were some of the guys that you really looked up to that you wanted to be like when you grew up?
I remember watching Ethan Kalina, Connor Krogan, just watching those guys when I was like fifth grade, just watching them in the student section. I just remember it.
So those are your basketball role models when you were growing up. What about now? Who are some of the people that you would consider role models in your life?
Definitely my parents. I wouldn't be able to be where I am as a basketball player today without my parents and everybody in my family, my coaches, my friends. I just want to thank them all.
Talk a little bit more about your parents and kind of everyone has that story that says their parents obviously support them and are behind them. What is it about your specific parents that lets you know that they have your back no matter what you're going through?
Yeah, I mean, back in like 7th and 8th grade, I didn't play much. I basically rode the bench. I got in for the last minute of every game when we were up 20. And my parents really never gave up on me. They told me just they're always going to believe in me. And even if I'm not playing, they're still going to trust me and trust my decision to keep playing. And it worked out.
How did you keep believing in yourself through that too? Because you have to continue to have confidence that eventually you're going to get to that point. That would be an easy point for a player to say, okay, you know what? Basketball was fun, but I'll try something else when I go into high school. You never did that. So what kept you confident through those tough times in middle school?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough just seeing all my friends get to play, but I got an opportunity to play freshman year when a couple of the guys got moved up to JV. And that kind of brought some of my confidence back, brought back some of my love for the game, and then it kind of just turned it for me.
All right, we got to talk about your future after Canfield. You already said the basketball at the next level probably been off the table, but what is in your future plans? What are some of the things that you want to accomplish after you do graduate from Canfield?
I plan on going to Ohio State, and I'm going to major in health sciences, I think, and just see where that takes me.
So Ohio State, that's a big one. What made you want to go there, and what was the deciding factors in that being your school?
I've been a fan of Ohio State ever since I was a little kid, and I just love the sports there. I love the campus, and my sister goes there, so it's just nice to connect with her.
Obviously, getting into Ohio State, not the easiest thing in the world for academics. So what has it been like being an athlete while also juggling, obviously, the high academic standards that you have for yourself and that you've set for getting into Ohio State?
Yeah, it's tough to balance, like, practice till from 2 to 5:30 and then going home and having to cram for to study for a test. It's tough to balance it and just trying to keep my grades up and also keep my basketball up.
You only have a few months left of senior year. Has it started to kick in that senioritis a little bit? You can be honest with us.
Yeah, it's definitely kicked in.
When you think of some of the things that you're the most proud of accomplishing, whether it be on the basketball court, in the classroom, in your high school career, what are some of the things that you look back on when you graduate and you're saying, man, I am really proud of myself for getting through that?
I would probably say, I don't know, calc class was pretty tough this year. Definitely just getting through the basketball season. Like, it was a tough grind, and I don't know, it was just tough.
All right, before I let you go, final question for you. I know you can't look too far ahead as a athlete because you're looking at one game at a time.
Yeah.
But we're gonna say, hey, if you win a district championship, what would that mean to you? Like, can you even put into your mind what that feeling would be like if you were able to cut down the nets?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great. I still remember to this day how I felt last year when we lost the district final to Cheney, and I just really don't want to feel that again. I would love to win a district chip with my friends and just my family.
All right, Sam, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to take the spotlight off yourself and shine it on all your support system, the people that have had your back throughout a lot of the ups and downs of your career. I want you to give your shout outs now and thank whoever you want to thank.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank my family, especially my parents, both of my sisters, my coaches, all my friends. I wouldn't be able to do without them, and they've supported me from when I started playing basketball as a kid to now.
All right, Sam, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon. Good luck the rest of the way. We hope this basketball season goes as long as it possibly can.
Yep, thank you for having me.
"21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Sorry about that. Welcome back to a Thursday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com. Brought to you by our good friends at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. You just heard before that commercial break from Sam Castronova, a senior at Canfield High School. Canfield going for a district championship berth in the semifinals tonight against Canal Fulton Northwest. Now we flip the page to a girls basketball player that's going for a regional championship berth for the second straight year. Mariana Toscano, junior for Springfield. She has not lost a district in her high school career. That is amazing in itself. Freshman year, one district, sophomore year, one districts, and went to state, by the way. And now winning districts again, trying to get back to state. It'll start tonight against Richmond Heights. Maslin Perry, 8 o'clock. Should be fun. Here's Mariana Toscano from Springfield. Anthony Harwig here with the Springfield girls basketball player profile. Junior Mariana Toscano, Springfield in the regionals for a third straight year. That means, Mariana, every year of your high school career, you guys have won a district championship. Take us through this one and what it meant and how cool it is to be a part of such a tremendous success at Springfield right now.
It's been a really good run this year. We had a good run last year, too. It's a really good feeling winning districts for the third year in a row. I think people have looked at us and thought about what we have lost, but not really talked about what we have brought back. We're bringing back 3 returning starters and 2 girls that helped us make a big run last year.
Unlike this year was full of a little bit of adversity. You lost a couple of close games, especially early in that non-conference schedule. What was it like going through this year? Some bumps, some adversity, some lows, and always being able to pull through it and knowing that, hey, we know how to win the tournament, and obviously being able to make that run in the districts.
Yeah, it kind of threw us off a little bit when we lost a couple close games, but we just came back at practice every day and worked hard, and it got us back to where we got last year.
It never hurt your confidence. How much did winning regionals last year and even winning the districts 2 years ago, how much did you guys lean on that for confidence this year?
We just use it as confidence because we know that we've been there and we know the environments that we're going to be put in, the big crowds, the good teams we're going to go play against. They're just always different teams, and we're just have to prepare every single day for that.
This district tournament was crazy for you guys. Semifinals, you win on a buzzer beater. Let's start with that game. Obviously, back and forth with Badger. You're technically the underdog when you talk about seeding. Badger ties the game late with about 5 seconds left, and then your lone senior Ava Vecchione steps up with the buzzer beater to win the game. What was it like going through a game like that? All the ups and downs, and then obviously ending with such an emotional victory.
It was very nerve-wracking because we knew that we didn't want our season to be over, and Ava just came out and pulled a Hail Mary. People have been calling it.
When you have a win like that, how much does it carry into the next one? Like, how good were you guys feeling going into the JFK game because of the way that one ended?
We were feeling good, even though it was close and we still won it only by 2. We knew that our coaches would prepare us for the next game.
Yeah, it was another close game. And one of the things I'm interested in, we talked about those close losses early on in the season. How much was being in those close games? How much did that help you guys in these close games, the last 2 in the district semis and the championship?
It helped us a lot during not during the league, or during the regular season. But during those close games, we knew that we just couldn't give up. And being in those situations a couple times, it helped us out because some people would get down, but our team has been in that situation so many times that we just didn't give up.
Last time we talked to you, you were a sophomore who was just taking a big step into varsity, getting more playing time, and obviously you were a big part of that role in the regional championship last year. Now all of a sudden you're a junior, you're experienced, you're one of the leaders of the team, you're an upperclassman. How have you handled that transition from someone that was in their first year of being a full-time varsity player to now being one of the players that the young players are going to look to be a leader?
We did lose 2 of our key starters, JC Mullen and Madison Lesnack. Mm-hmm. So me, Jamaica, and Ava, we all knew that we had to step up this year, and I don't know, we just wanted to get back to where we were last year, and I think we're doing pretty good right now.
A lot of the juniors in the basketball world aren't asked to be tremendous leaders yet because they have such a strong senior class. You only having one senior this year, a great one in Ava Vecchione, but still just one senior. How much leadership have you been able to really flex on this team so next year when you're a senior, you're ready to go and you know exactly what it takes to be a leader for this team next year?
I think it's helped us out a lot having like our older, like whenever I was a sophomore, JC Mullen and like Madison Lesnack, they were our leaders. So I try to be more like them because they were very good leaders to us, and it's just helped us out.
We know watching you play basketball, you're the one that keeps everything loose. You're light. You're best when you're bubbly and having fun out there. What keeps you in that mindset, and what makes you be able to always be loose out there on the court?
I don't really tend to get down on myself. Like, yeah, I'll make a mistake here and there, but I just go out there to win and play, and that helps me.
How much does that that energy and that looseness help you in your confidence? Just be able to go out there and say, hey, you know what? Next play, next shot, whatever it takes to win.
Can you say that question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this loose attitude that we're talking about, where you're always bubbly, you're always energetic. How much does that help your confidence? Being able to just say, next shot. If you miss one, next shot. You're always one that's always going to shoot no matter where you are on the floor.
Yeah, my confidence, it helps me out a lot because some people, they'll mess up and then they'll get down on themselves. But with me, I mess up and I'm just like, I'm going to go try to get a point next possession. And
you're a junior. You have 3 district championship medals now, which is more than some people get in their whole high school career. You have been able to accomplish so much as an athlete at Springfield already. What is still left on your goal list? What are some things that you want to accomplish still in your high school career?
Starting off with this year, I think we just want to get back to where we were last year and hopefully go farther. And next year, maybe win districts for the 4th year in a row and just keep trying to go as far as we can.
Do you have any personal goals that you have, things you want to get better at, things you want to continue to grow in, things like that?
Yeah, I definitely want to get better with ball handling because during some of these games, I have to bring up the ball. My shot hasn't really been falling that much, so I've been driving to the hoop more, but I'm definitely going to keep working on my shot just for some of these other games.
You've prepared for a regional tournament 2 years now in a row, and now this is the 3rd year. How much does that help? I mean, you guys obviously aren't going to be, blinded by the lights or the stage. You are going to be ready to go in this regional tournament. How much does the fact that you've been there 2 times in a row before this year help you with being able to be ready for this moment?
It definitely helps us out because the teams that we're going to be playing, they haven't been on this court, and we have for the past 3 years. And I think just us being in the environment that has been there in the past years, it's just going to help us out a lot.
You opened this interview with the idea that a lot of people were focused on what Springfield lost last year, and maybe from the outside perspective, a little bit of underselling what Springfield could do. Maybe you felt like the underdogs a little bit. Do you think this team had that chip on their shoulder this year where they wanted to go improve what they are returning rather than what they're losing?
Yes, we most certainly did. I think, of course, we're going to have a chip on our back already because we made it to the Final Four last year. We won districts, we won regionals. And with people not doubting us, but not seeing what we can do this year, I think it's just helped us.
You were still able to win the league. I know you shared it, but you're still able to win the league this year, which proves exactly what we're saying, that you guys were more about what you brought back than what you lost. When you won the conference and you were able to say we're conference champions, what did that mean to this team? I'm sure that was the first goal on the list to prove that you were back.
Yeah, obviously our first goal was to win league and then to go as far as we are going this year. It's just a really good feeling being able to do the things that we have put on our list of things to do.
Let's talk about your junior year in the classroom. We talked about sophomore year last year. Now, things are getting taken a little bit more seriously. You start to think about your future a little bit more. How have you handled junior year in the classroom so far at Springfield?
It's been going good. It hasn't been too hard this year. We just had our ACT 2 weeks ago, so.
I didn't want to jinx you by saying it hasn't been too hard, because then, of course, last couple months you're hit with a lot of hard schoolwork. What have been your favorite subjects this year in junior year?
I would say definitely math and chemistry.
Have you started to, think about your future and things you want to go into, maybe career paths you might want to try to chase down?
I haven't really thought that far yet.
No, it's okay. You're a junior. You don't have to yet. You have to next year, but this year you can let that come to you. What about things you're interested in? Like you said, chemistry, one of your favorite subjects. Do you think maybe it'll be something along the science route, or do you think something else?
I was thinking I'm going to take anatomy next year because I may or may not want to go into the medical field, but that's still iffy.
To set yourself up for success, that's all you have to do. Um, when you think about hidden talents, I always like to ask these athletes that we get to see so talented on the basketball court. What are some things that you're good at that aren't basketball?
Oh my. I don't know. My mom likes to say I'm pretty good at singing.
Okay, that's good. Come on. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you to do karaoke. I wouldn't do that to you. But let's hear, like, if you had a karaoke night, what are some songs that you do enjoy singing?
I'm a really big Disney fan. I love singing like Breaking Free from High School Musical, like any like song from there I'll sing.
Do you have a favorite Disney song? Everyone has a favorite song from those Disney movies. Do you have a favorite?
Definitely Breaking Free from High School Musical.
There it is. Okay. But you have to have a guy duet that one, right? So
yeah.
Maybe you need a partner, right, to duet those songs with you. Let's talk about things that this year you've grown in that you're proud of. When you reflect on this year, we don't want it to end yet. We want it to go as far as possible. But when this season is over, what are you going to be proud of yourself for that you've accomplished so far this year?
Definitely just stepping into a bigger role this year. I think I've been driving to the hoop a lot more, and last year I really didn't do that. I kind of just stood in the corner. So I'm just really proud that I'm like trying to get to the paint.
When you think of reasons why you've been able to grow in that way, what or who, I should say, who has been so big in helping you grow as a player in that way, driving to the hoop more, as you say?
Definitely my coaches. They said they wanted me to shoot more this year, but they also wanted me to like have more contributes to the team. So they've been helping me out.
Got a couple of Mateezis on the staff, what's it like being coached by them? We're going to ask you just like last year, what are you learning so much from Coach Mateezi and his staff?
They are both so prepared for every single game that we go into, and it's very I don't know what the word is, but it's very nice going into a practice and having your coach knowing exactly, like Zach prepares for every single game. Like he'll know who we're going to play after we like in the tournament. And it's nice.
When you think of, things that you can say about your coaches that we don't get to see on the sidelines, obviously, because we only see them in game time. What are some things in practices and outside of games that you think where they get to show, a little bit of parts of themselves that they don't show during a game?
Oh, I messed up last year. I said John didn't have a personality, but I don't really know.
Yeah, you don't want to put yourself in a bad situation as you with coaches. You might not start the next game. You don't want to put you in that situation. But one of the things I want to ask as well, that Springfield gym, it's got such personality. What makes it feel like home to you? Everyone has a reason why their home gym feels like home. When you're in Springfield, you're playing home games. What makes it feel like home to you?
It's just being in that gym every day during the whole season, and then walking into the gym after being in the locker room after our talk and just seeing all like the fans and just how everyone just supports us throughout our whole run.
You're an upperclassman now. You're an older player on the team, which means you're now going to be a role model to not just the freshmen, but also the junior high players that want to look at you and say, man, I can't wait to be on the varsity level and do the things that she's doing. What's that like to transition into a role model for you?
It's definitely a good feeling. That's another reason on why I try to have so much confidence and not get down on myself during the games, because I know I have younger girls watching me and there's an audience watching me and I don't want to mess up for them.
Who are your role models? Who do you watch, or who did you watch when you were growing up that you wanted to be like and be in their shoes one day?
Definitely my older brother, Marshall. He was a part of the football run whenever they made it to state a couple years and they made it to regionals.
Did he ever give you any advice when you started into your varsity career about how to calm yourself down or how to, go out there and succeed?
He just told me to go have fun. I'm only in high school once, and just to go have fun.
You're having a lot of fun. You're winning a lot. You've already had 3 district champions. We hope that you can make it 2 regional championships in a row. Mariana, before we let you go, like last year, I'm going to have you take the spotlight off yourself for a little bit, shine it on your support system and all the people that you wouldn't be here without. Give out your shout outs, give out your thanks, however many you want to give.
Definitely just my friends, my family, my coaches, and just our whole town.
Your coaches that definitely have personality. Yes, for sure. Mariana, we want to thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck in the regionals. We can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank
you. And that was Mariana Toscano from Springfield as the Tigers get ready for a regional semifinal tonight against Richmond Heights in Maslin Perry. They're the second game of the night, so they will be slated for roughly 8 o'clock. First game starts at 6, so 8-ish, depending on how fast or slow that first game goes. I will tell you that per tournament rules, if the first game goes fast, it will not start before 8 o'clock. It could start after 8 o'clock, which no one wants because that would be a late night, of course. But it will not start before. They will extend that clock in between as long as they have to. And you make sure that those tournament games start right when they're scheduled on the dot. So we're going back in the scoreboard to remind you what games are being played tonight, what games will be covered, and what announcers are going to be there covering you. We'll start with boys basketball, and this is pay-per-view. One payment and $9.99 gets you access to all these boys basketball games. And first, we will have Edgewood against Notre Dame Computer Latin. That is 14 Edgewood versus 27 NDCL, but you can never let the seeds at NDCL get stuck with fool you because they play a brutal schedule. So you got to watch out for the Lions. That one happening in Warren Harding, and Sam Torres and Larry Jennings coming down to our neck of the woods from the 440 to have you have the call. Eric Hughes is going to be on the call with West Branch against Revere. That one's going to be at NDCL, so it's hosting while the Lions are in Warren Harding playing. That's interesting. But that one's going to be at 7 o'clock, and Eric Hughes will have the call for you there. Noah Ricks is going to be with Howland, the voice of the Tigers. Rocky River is their opponent. That is 24 Howland versus 36 Rocky River in the district semifinals in North Ridgeville at 7 o'clock. I will be in Louisville as Canfield takes on Northwest. That is going to be 5 seed Louisville versus 11 seed Canal Fulton Northwest. 5 seed Canfield. I don't know why I said Louisville because it's in Louisville. 5 seed Canfield against 11 seeded Canal Fulton Northwest. Dom O'Brien going to be at the Fitch and Elyria game in Twinsburg. And that one is 19 seeded Austintown Fitch against 21 seeded Elyria. So it could be a pretty dang good matchup between Fitch and Elyria down there in Twinsburg. Dom O'Brien with the call. Ty Bartell will have you covered for the Hoban game. 12 seed Knights will play the 10 seed Strongsville. That's at Elyria Catholic High School. And that one's at 7 o'clock as well. So all 6 of those games going to be on the network tonight. And you can find them on ysnlive.com/live. One payment of $9.99 gets you access to all 6 of these. But you will not have to pay for the Springfield girls basketball game thanks to a wonderful sponsor that was sent to us at YSN. We are so gracious for their sponsorship. We're able to bring this game to you for free. The sponsorship from Next Home Geo 30 and also Susan Younger, Realtor. They have both stepped up and covered the fees for the regional semifinals against Richmond Heights. So because of their great sponsorship, this game will be brought to you for free. It will be on live, 8 o'clock. Noah Doty going to be down in Maslin Perry High School. If you've never been there, it's a great venue for a regional. It's got the wrap around track over the gym, and you can be up high. You can also be down low at the in the on the first level on the ground floor for the gym, but it really gives you that sense of you're in an arena because you have stands up high, stands on the floor. You feel like the fans are above you when they're screaming at you from the track up there. It's a really fun place to watch basketball. So Massillon Perry is the host, and Richmond Heights against Springfield going down tonight in the regional semifinals. We saw the Division III regional semifinals go down yesterday, by the way, and they were a thrilling matchups in the R region, the ones that our teams would have been in. Warrensville Heights, who is the 1 seed in Division III, they lost to Keystone, who's the 2 seed. So, but man, I just want to give a shout out to Warrensville Heights because I remember a couple of years ago when they played South Range in the regional semifinals, I had a chance to talk to their coach, who is just such a great guy, and man, they can't find a way out of regionals. Every time they hit a team that just sneaks away from them, whether it be Apple Creek, Waynedale, Laurel. Now it's Chippewa once, I think, a couple of times, and then now it's Keystone that comes in and sneaks out a win in the regional semifinals. And they've had really, really talented teams in Warrensville Heights. But hey, hard work and team unity beats talent. The teams that I've seen live beat Warrensville Heights have been the teams that just play well together. And it felt like Warrensville Heights always struggled with matching the talent that they have into a cohesive unit sometimes. And these really strong teams with comparable talent, not maybe the same talent, but when you get to that level, you have comparable talent. When they're playing together and they're working hard as a unified team, it just seems like that those teams always have a little bit of an edge over this monsterly talented Warrensville Heights team. And it was the same thing for Keystone. They got the win. Doylestown Chippewa continues their run as well as they win last night. So in Division III, it'll be Chippewa against Keystone in the regional final. And down there in Stowe, that is the only place, by the way, that's changed host sites. Usually that Division III regional that we would send teams to would be Cuyahoga Falls, but instead this year it is Stowe Monroe Falls instead of Cuyahoga Falls. All the other regionals, I believe, are set as well. I think is other than Division IV, which is tonight. So after tonight, we'll have all the regional finals of girls basketball set. If you're interested in seeing how those teams that beat the YSN teams are doing, you can go over to obviously the brackets, and they're updated. I can go down really quick and tell you Laurel won. Streetsboro beat Akron St. Vincent St. Mary, which was a huge stunner for me after seeing St. V's. But I will say 2 out of the last 3 games that St. V's played, they were pretty sloppy. And I think it finally came back to bite him. Streetsboro with Naomi Benson scoring the last 11 points of the game finally found a way to smite the Irish. But they did not play well against Marlington. They let Chelsea Evans score 30 points. They fell behind 10-0. Didn't start well. They played really a sound game against Canfield. That's unfortunate for the Cardinals that the Irish came out and played very locked in and focused and jumped out to a huge start. Never really felt like they lost control in that game. But now then they go against Streetsboro and they have another game where they're just not themselves. They're not playing well. They turn the ball over a little bit too much. And they got off to another slow start. And Streetsboro was up by a lot. They withstood a little bit of a run by St. V's and then bounced right back and got into it. So congratulations to the Rockets. That's who Canfield would have played if they would have won. And the Rockets beat St. V's by 4. They beat Canfield by 3 in the regular season finale. So I'm sure Canfield's thinking like if that regional district final could have gone a little bit different where things would have went their way, this wasn't their day. But if it could have gone a little bit different, they could have gotten the win. They probably would have felt pretty confident against Streetsboro and against a team that they were so close to beating in that regular season finale. But it's a game of matchups. It's a game of one night, how you match up against the other. And that's what's beautiful about tournament time. So congratulations to all the girls basketball teams that are moving on. And hopefully Springfield can join those ranks tonight. Once again, 8 o'clock, Massillon Perry High School against Richmond Heights. Excuse me. No Adoni on the call. Then we have 6 boys games as well tonight. Those ones are pay-per-view. One payment of $9.99 gets you access to all of those games. And then the girls game with Springfield is free, thanks to wonderful sponsors, as I said before. That'll do it for today's episode of Running Point. We will be back tomorrow to recap all the action and see what teams we have remaining after tonight's final district semifinals in boys and the regional semifinals in girls. We hope that all of our teams advance, of course. And we will see you guys tomorrow on Running Point. Hey, shout out to Mr. Payne. Go Irish last night. He had a big game. And we will see you all tomorrow on Running Point. Brought to you, as always, by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. Thanks so much for tuning in.